Hola, mister. Buenas noches. Antonio Ruiz, en directo para el partidazo de COPE.
Hello, coach. Seeing what the authority and the solvency that Spain has played with in these Euros, is there any reason for stopping the dream or the hope that people has at this stage? Or are we allowed to dream with a title? Good evening, Antonio. We are all free to dream, and of course, we are the first to be able to dream, but we have to keep our feet on the ground. This doesn't guarantee anything. I think dreaming or hope is a great engine in order to generate other positive aspects. That's what we want. We want to generate even more different positive feelings and the hope to get something more important. We know how difficult this is. Every game is really tight, and it is extremely difficult what we've done, and winning all 3 games and keeping a clean sheet in all 3 of them and getting 9 points. That's extremely difficult. It hasn't happened so for a long time, and of course, like I said, we need to keep our head cold, a cool head, and we want to keep our feet on the ground at all times. We can talk about the last 16 already, and is it a bit weird after being qualified, not knowing who are we going to play with? Could be Hungary, could be anyone else. How are you going to manage for the next few days? Because you might not know until Wednesday. Well, we normally sleep 2 or 3 hours a night, so we might have to stay awake the whole night in order to study our rival when we find out who it is. We have information of every team, and of course those are us, that could end up being our rivals, and that's it. We need to wait until Wednesday, probably a couple of days, until we know who we're playing with. That's how it is. And in any case, we'll be mentally prepared to go all out and try and get to the next stage. With this group stage, like Spain has done, etc., you talked about room for improvement for this team. What can Spain improve given this group stage that they have played? Well, it's exactly the same as, like I said before. Our game plan developed just exactly as we had foreseen, with a rival with plenty of energy. We lost a bit of control in the second half, but there are some positive aspects. We had to work a lot with transitions and coming back to defend, and the team has shown a lot of generosity. But of course, there is room for improvement. We have a great and exceptional generation of footballers who can still give a lot, and they are the first who want to improve. So when you try to play with the best and try to beat the best, you need to play at your best, no matter who you are playing against. And it's going to be even better, or even it's going to be more demanding in the next stages. Would you understand that after the performance in the last 3 games, everybody says Spain is one of the favorites? Could that add pressure to your team, or do you accept that role? Well, it doesn't compromise, it doesn't create any sort of commitments. We appreciate that people understand the value of and the talent of these footballers. But like I said, this doesn't guarantee anything. We need to keep our feet on the ground. We know every game is going to be complicated. Our next rivals are going to be extremely demanding. We're talking about the best teams in Europe here. The best 16 teams in Europe are going to be there. So being favorites or not doesn't really change anything. I'm not giving it more importance to that. But in any case, It means that people think we're a good team, and I think that's fantastic, but that doesn't guarantee anything at all. All I want is for us to be cautious. You know, we know how we are in Spain. You know, one day we're at the top and the next day you're nothing. So I want to be cautious. I want everybody to be cautious and don't put any more pressure on a group of footballers who I think they're working really well with a lot of hope and generating a lot of hope and plenty of dreams for everyone. Keeping a clean sheet in all 3 games, I think it's not only a job for the defenders. So how do you work that aspect with your team? And where do you put the focus? Where do you focus in terms of defense so that you kept a clean sheet in all 3 games? Well, like you say, it's a collective job. Whole team who is committed. Football is attacking and defending. And, you know, the difference between a good team and a great team is balance. And I think we have that. If we analyze from a footballing point of view, what we had in the second half, transitioning and defense, etc., that's not exactly what we wanted, but it has taught us a lesson. It has allowed us to see the commitment and the generosity of some of our players who have a concept of commitment and working as a team that is fantastic. So we don't have the ball. That shows that we all work and we are constantly helping each other. So that shows how tight is this group, how much they can, are they willing to suffer at a given time, and I think that's very important. And I think that team, it's showing that it can do that really well. Today you decided to make 10 substitutions, 10 changes, and then you made 3 of the players in the first 11 of the first 2 games. Is it because they needed a few more minutes? Is it because they are looking better physically? Or why did you play them in the second half? Well, first and foremost, we wanted to win today. And we wanted to keep all the available players. Unfortunately, there's only one left, Alex Ramiro, who hasn't played. And we would like everyone to play. And we managed that. We managed to allow the players who hadn't had any minutes yet, except for Alex Ramiro, like I said. And the substitutions, well, this is how we read the game. We had foreseen to play some players for half the game and bring some players in the second half. Lenormand has had a yellow card. We assumed that risk as well. So, like I said, the substitutions were just, you know, how the game went. We wanted the different players to have the chance to play. You know, so I'm really happy about that because of the experience for young players like Fermin, etc. That's really invaluable for him, and of course it's really good for us that he could live through a game with this kind of intensity, etc. That's going to help him improve. Him and some of his teammates. We wanted to share a few minutes, give some minutes to players that hadn't played so much, etc. Coach, what did you like the most after the group stage? And you've been talking about room to improvement. What would you like to improve? Well, the team has played a really good group stage. I think in every match against the matches against Croatia and Italy, we played at a really high level. We were brilliant in offense, generating chances against Italy. I think it was 16 or 18 attempts on goal. And in this offensive stage, we've been brilliant. And in defense, well, that says we are a really solvent team. So, but of course we have room for improvement. That's a principle we have in the dressing room. We need to learn as footballers. We have this sentence that we say in the dressing room after every game. We thank everyone for their commitment, for their work. The level of training is really high. But we always say this can be improved tomorrow. So based on that premise, we see very naturally that everything can be improved. I can improve. I'm the first one that can improve. And that applies to everyone, all my footballers, everyone in the technical staff.
Buenas noches, seleccionador Joaquín Maroto de Las.
I wanted to ask you about Lamine Yamal. I don't know if you perceived that when he made, everybody was so happy that he entered the game. And in the Spanish fans, and it was the opposite effect in the Albanese fans, Albanian fans. And he played really well, but it's something that I perceived as well, that you made some movements. All our rivals had to do something special in order to try and stop Lamine Yamal. Is Lamine Yamal changing the perception? Are they changing the perception they have or everyone has of Lamine Yamal? Well, when a footballer appears in a competition and gives us the surprise, and maybe some rivals, they don't pay attention to them because they don't know them. But once they know of their conditions, it's normal that the rivals focus on a particular footballer. Lamine is well known in international football, and of course he makes our rivals worry, our opponents worry. We knew it was going to be a very demanding match. We told him not to look for individual play so much because the game could be tough on him, but I know that's normal. Football is a sport in which you need to use the best weapons you may have. So you need to be more aggressive against certain opponents, etc. But he is already well known, and we celebrate that because it means that we value him at home, but he is also valued abroad at an international level. And we like to see that, and we see that we are not mistaken with this footballer who is really good. We used to say that it was Dani Olmo plus 10. We've seen Dani Olmo in the first 11 again. Does he make you doubt? And so you think you might want to play him again? Well, Dani Olmo, I think, is a superb footballer, fantastic footballer, and I really value him. He's a top footballer for me. But this is a team, and they assume perfectly their role perfectly. And so then they know at a given moment they have to play in one way or the other. He's a team player. He's a very talented player. He stands out just like anyone else. But he thinks in the bigger... he thinks about the team more than of himself as an individual. So the more chances I have to choose different footballers, and if everyone is really good, that's fantastic for the team. So I'm happy about that. And I have many different solutions and many different footballers I can play in every team and every match. And that's really good for our team, for our national team, because I can say, what can I say? Oh, my footballers are really good, and I'm happy to count on all of them. About the room for improvement, you only won 1-0 against Italy, 1-0 against Albania after scoring 3 against Croatia. That's it. Where are you? Well, today it was that we had to read the game differently. We had a few chances in the first half against a team that was playing for their lives, very aggressive team with a lot of energy. And I think we played that first half the way we should. It got a little bit out of hand in the second half, but we've shown that we score when we get the chance to score, but we are a really balanced team defensively. So I'm not worried in the slightest. I know we are in the right way, and I insist there is this room for improvement, and we are going to improve in the next few games. We'll be better. My footballers will be calmer, more confident, and the next game is going to be like everything is going to be at stake. Thank you very much. I also wanted to say, I wanted to congratulate Jesus Navas. I think he's the Spanish footballer, or the most veteran Spanish footballer in playing a Euro. I think it's a reason to be happy for all of us, for Spanish football, for the whole delegation. So congratulations, Jesus. Just keep going.
Thank you. Albania press conference.